I'm always thinking about the advice I would give the younger version of myself. And that younger version isn't just the 4-year-old version or the 12-year-old me. It's typically who I was last week. And I think as I'm getting older, I'm in my early 20s, but as I'm getting, every day that I get closer to death, I'm just realizing how important it is to just cherish these moments. Your body, your capability, your mind, your heart, and how it works right now. It's such a beautiful thing. And I feel like life is so often made into just this laborious chore. And I don't want my life to be like that. I want to wake up and play frisbee and walk my dog and run across the ground barefoot. And I know it might come across super naive or I don't know. But at the end of the day, I know money makes the world go round. I'm aware of the reality, but I'm not going to let that direct who I am day to day. If I want to drink my $8 latte and then go to the beach and spend all day at the beach, I'm going to. Because guess what? When I'm 80 years old and I don't know how to drive anymore, I'm going to really wish that I had spent those moments with my feet in the sand and a Michi in my hand, okay? So I'm taking American Social Problems, which is a sociology class. I'm actually majoring in sociology. It's crazy because I'm not going to try to talk shit on our country, but there's definitely some shade that can be thrown. Kind of the mindset that we've nested and encouraged skewed perceptions of money and greed. And I'm learning a lot right now about things that are objective that have become subjective, even though it warps our entire society and then benefits a particular group of people. Us thinking that we deserve or are entitled to something when in reality it's a privilege for us, like that's what I'm kind of learning about right now. These topics, depending on what social group, like your social position, is gonna make you uncomfortable. These are topics that had I not grown out of my old former beliefs, it took me having to step outside of myself and look through a sociological perspective, sociological imagination, if you will, to understand the privilege that you have. What I find interesting is that I've always lived comfortably. I've never had to struggle for food. I've never had to go to desperate measures to get a meal. People that like are very well off, I could easily say, well, yeah, even though I have money in the bank, if I didn't have money in the bank, I would never steal. Because that is a wide assumption and usually an inaccurate one. You can't say that I would never do that if you've never been in that situation before. It just seems like from where I'm standing right now, it seems like in this country, we care a lot about time being money, which has always been like interesting to me. But it's really up to you if you want to let that dictate your entire life. And if you want to let that dictate the decisions you make, the time you spend with your family, what is important to you and what is a priority to you. So the secret, I have 1 shallot, chicken breast, this is. You need a glass of wine so you don't lose your mind when you make it. 9 or 10 cloves of garlic. It is preheated to about 400 degrees, and then you put the potatoes in there for an hour. Potatoes, you're going to use olive oil, salt, and then stab them to death. Fry the chicken, like so. For reference for me, I'm doing 3 chicken breasts. Pretty much all I did was I had a cheese grater, and I grated up the baked potato, and then you add in at most 1 cup of flour just for the process of creating the dough. And instead of kneading it in with your hands, you're going to use like a scraper or something like this. The egg, the flour, the potato and then like an herbal flavor. A little bit of thyme. Yes. Today is Friday and I've had a pretty busy morning. I woke up, I was just tidying up around the house, and then I went to my training for this new job that I just got, which is the one that, I think I told you guys about this, like receptionist, administrative work for massage therapy. I never thought about what to expect, so honestly, kind of just going in there, I was going in with really no expectations. I just kind of, whatever. So me and him talked for a bit. We usually talk and he answers any questions that I have. And he just trains me, but then at the end we did a practical and he pretty much just gave me intro into like what he does. This guy is gifted. Like with his hands, you can tell when somebody has a gift for anything really. Like if you've ever met somebody that they just have that gift. I don't know how to explain it. You can learn and perfect it and tune it, but at the end of the day, it's like this ability is, it's a gift that you have to tap into. The session, I mean, I'm not gonna go into detail because I also feel like this was so personal and remarkable, but by the end of it, I was brought to tears, pretty much. I guess I'm trying to continue learning is that the emotional weight and the emotional strain that you have is held inside of yourself. You hold that emotional weight in your body. Good morning. I had this thought. It's so easy for us to critique and pick apart each other, which is so sad because like, that's just kind of gross, but it's become habitual. Like a lot of people just grow up picking people apart for no reason. If you've ever read the 4 agreements, there's an agreement that's, I think it said, be like sinless in your word or be impeccable in your word. And pretty much that meant what you say is like you cast spells. So for example, let's say I'm talking poorly about somebody, I'm just talking shit on someone, and to somebody who doesn't know them or does know them, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Their perception of them is going to change whether you want it to or not. So it got me to thinking, what is it? Why is it that like with somebody like my cousin, for example, my best friend, I don't judge what she does. Like whatever she does, I don't judge it. That doesn't mean that I'm blind to if she does something right or wrong. Like I still have discernment. Like what she does, like her actions, I don't judge her. And it's just so unnatural to me. If I were to judge her, it'd just be weird. But it's so easy for me to judge somebody else that I may not know as well or that I'm not as close to. And I think that's because I hold so much love and I hold so much space for her. I don't hold the same amount of love and I don't hold the same amount of space as I would for her that I do for a stranger. I'm trying to rethink that and just kind of remember that in my day-to-day life, that like you really should hold space for people. I don't know, I was just thinking about that earlier. Don't look. Come on. I will save this because there's still, I don't know if you guys see it right there. You see that? We're not wasting that.